Now today I have another boombox. This is actually, I thought this was the one I looked at already. This is an RX-DS520 Panasonic, and I previously looked at an RX-DS550, and I actually thought, for some reason I thought this was the same one, so I must have picked up two of them at some point. The other one's a bit different, had the CD display up there I think, and I'm not sure if it was a digital tuner or what, but it's kind of a similar thing, and I think the tape deck was a bit different looking. This one's still just a standard tape deck. Looks like it's a Panasonic type mech. Probably got the same CD player in as usual. But yeah, as far as I know, I have not looked at this one. So I'll check it out and see what it actually does and go from there. Tuner. AM works fine. Seems to be picking up something weird on the FM band there, but whether that's just this unit or something in the power supply of it or somewhere else, I don't know where that's coming from. Equalizer seems to work. Yeah, it seems to work. Looks fairly clean in there. And I guess I'll give a quick record.
A cloudy days on the way today with a slight chance of a shower, winds up to 25 kilometres an hour and a top of 16. For Wednesday, a shower or two at 17 and a shower or two and 17 for Thursday, and a possible showers on...
Not the best signal to test the record on, but...
Cloudy days on the way today with a slight chance of a shower, winds up to 25 kilometres an hour and a top of 16. For Wednesday, a shower or two at 17 and a shower or two and 17 for Thursday.
Only seem to have one channel really on the tape. Let's go to CD. So I can record something decent on there. If the CD does work. Which it's read the table of contents. Yeah, one channel down, especially on record it seems. Can't see anything dirty on the head, but I'll give it a clean anyway. Actually looks very nice and clean in there. Let's try again. I might just get a commercial tape. Turn the power off, didn't I?
An innings in Test cricket is something.
Hard on Bradford, as the batsman he is certainly plumb poor.
Well, this seems to be working off a commercial one, because this test tape's probably getting pretty dodgy now. I think that sounds actually better, even on playback. Volume control will give you that. Yeah, I think that's alright. So maybe there was something on there, or maybe we got an intermittent issue. And I guess we better check the CD player a little bit better. I've done the old tap test. Into some later tracks. Pretty touchy. God, how many tracks on it? No idea. Okay, that all seems reasonable, but could possibly do a little bit of a service. Let's see what we've got inside this thing. Probably pretty much the same as every other one of them. But you never know. Dust like usual. Made in Singapore. Not sure if this is, I would assume, an earlier model than the other one. Just going by the earlier model number, but that doesn't mean anything in reality. It could be a later model for all we know. I might be able to find a date on this one, I guess. And I can't remember if we found one on the last one, but I think we did. So hopefully the motor will tell us something. I think that was the one had a bit of a rusty transformer or something in it that I pulled the tape deck out. And I'm pretty sure that had a date. So we could get lucky. Screw in the middle anyway, doesn't look like it, just 6 around the outside I think. At least the battery connectors look good. I think the volume knob comes off. There's a bit different mechanism in this one by the look of it. Yeah, almost all plastic. Don't think I've seen this mech before. Not a lot in it. So it's probably either a more basic model or just an earlier one or something, who knows, but it's quite a simple little tape deck by the look of it. See if it's got the usual, whoops, Matsushita or Mabuchi or whatever motor it was that these things seem to have. January 96, 22nd of Jan 96, an MSI 5C9L, whatever that is, doesn't really have a brand at all. Got some bits and pieces on this mech. It don't really tell you anything. A DG14E96LJN. It's a 96. Was that the same year? Yep, that was a 96. Oh, I've got a switch behind here. Is that the, oh no, there's a little switch here for probably the motor. Oh, where's the play? I don't know if that's the record switch behind there. Yeah, that's where the record lever goes up. It's actually slipping out and going, which it shouldn't be. Or am I pressing? So I think that might be our record switch. Guess better make sure we put that back together. Yeah, looks like it's... Is that the record lever that's hitting it? I think it is. It's right in that vicinity, but there is something else sticking out there. What's this other bit of metal? Oh, that's the plate. But yeah, I think we'll say that's the record switch. But yeah, quite clean in here and looking like it's in good condition. Oh, one thing I should have done, I always normally check the belts. So this is a dual belt by the look of it. It's got a little square belt and it's actually got a flat belt. Something we don't see that often in these sort of mechs. If I can just stop that from turning. Ooh, that is slipping a little bit. It's kind of, you can see it go sideways on the motor pulley. It does slip ever so slightly, that flat belt. I don't think I'll bother changing it, but it is getting on the verge of needing a replacement. And one more thing before I put it back together, how hard are they to change? Looks like one screw and the motor bracket comes off. So nice and easy to do. But that I think still got some life in it, but only just. But yeah, it's getting old. Quite amazing, I think it's going on 30 years old, that belt. And I don't know if there's much else. I might have a look at the CD maybe. I don't know if there's much I can really do. It looks like we might undo a couple of screws under the lid. Yeah, so two at the front here. And it feels like there's something at the back, probably under the handle here. There's two more. Go away, handle. Might as well give it a quick clean and everything. Don't think it's going to make much difference, but. And the antenna's only it's got a knock in it there, so I was going to say it's a bit bent. Not that it really matters. I don't think trying to straighten it is more risky than leaving it as it is. And this probably is the same CD mech that we've seen in every other Panasonic boombox. Might as well have a quick inspection of the mech. See if it is actually the normal one, which I'm assuming it will be. I think that's pretty much the standard setup, much like the Sony's. They pretty much the same thing every time. A little bit of dust under there, but I don't think it's touching anything. Laser looks perfectly clean, but I'll give it a clean anyway. There's very little dust in this thing, like even under here there's dust there, but such a small amount. It's very clean, really. Not sure if it's worth giving that thing a lubrication. I think I'll probably just leave that one. I'll just have a look inside it, and that's about it with this one, I think. It's basically working, I wouldn't call it 100%, but close. So yeah, the record switch isn't something that would be likely causing the issue I was getting, and there is I must give the volume control a clean though, because that seemed to be a bit iffy. This little one here, 50k ohm B. Looks like we can get up under there. Oh, there is even a little hole in the front here. You can always try squirting up the circuit board a bit. But yeah, just a general standard sort of 90s machine. Much like everything else we looked at from that sort of era. But at least they're a bit more useful having a CD player, and often they sound a bit better as well. They've had to beef the sound up a bit. There's a bit of dust in there as well, can go. A bit of grease getting on the brush there. And that's probably about it for this one. Might have a quick look in the speakers and give them a clean out as well, like I usually do. And yeah, a bit of dust under the handle, of course. And yeah, it needs a bit of a clean on top and stuff. But I can't complain about the condition of this one too much. Oh, the speaker bits on the end need dusting off. Probably haven't been offered in its life, or very little. Yeah, a bit of dust in the bottom, but I'll leave that in there. And I guess check the front bit out. No doubt the cassette part will need a bit of a clean out of the door and behind the door. Get it done while we can get to it. Just got to be careful not to move this around too much. And we've got some of these buttons that we've got to try and fit back in, so I better release the deck where I've left it in place in play mode. Now I think this one we've got to hold all the buttons up, which is a bit of a annoyance, but I think I've got them all. Yeah, it's not too bad. You can do it with pretty much 3 fingers anyway, surprisingly. I don't know why they all went up together, but they did. Now I'll just check the radio, I guess. Let's put a screw back in or something. I guess I can check the radio just hits the ends, because if I've got it out, it'll fall short of one end. That looks pretty right to me. It goes to that end of the window. That one's a little bit short of the end, but I think it was before. And we've got a lot of dust in these holes. Don't think it matters too much. Bit on the battery cover. And down the screw holes. Better clean out the back of the knob, I guess. That should fix our issue with the noisy volume. And let's have a look at one of these plastic boxes. I need to undo that. Again, they're difficult to get into the screws. Wow. There it is. Oh well, they're 4 ohm impedance, but the biggest impedance is trying to get the screws undone. I still can't work out what they've actually done with these things, but they do come down to a point. There must be some sort of bigger gap around there. I don't know what it is, but they do not like to go into the screw heads. It's a Baston. Baston Asia RAS, or I think it'd be Bass, wouldn't you? 12 P01, nominal 5 watts. Impedance 5 ohm, very tinny little piezo, but they do tend to work quite well on these things. And that's about it, I guess. Better have a look how dirty the front of this thing is. There's a dead spider or something stuck in there, and it's finally come loose. That's not too bad. A little bit of dust in there and quite a bit around the rim there. I'll probably wipe out a lot of it with the brush, but I'll give that a quick clean as well, I think. Oh, and we've got the little base vent things here. And yeah, dust under the bottom of the grill. Glad I got this new brush because this actually gets down in there a bit. Let's clean out that bit. That should certainly make it look a little bit better. And yeah, that's much nicer. See if I can get it down these bits here. At least start by cleaning the outside of them. I'll just poke that down with a screwdriver or something. We'll go some of the way. Quite a bit. Deep enough that you can't see it. Oh, I probably should do this little edge bit because that'll be dirty. It always is on the top anyway. So the screws do tend to drop in fairly easy. It's just when you try to get the head of the screwdriver into them, for some reason, don't know what they've done down there. Obviously made to go together in the factory, but not come apart again. Really weird. Clean that digital bit up there. Clean the antenna off. And the speaker mounts. That door's a bit dusty, of course. And clean these switch levers off. Graphic equalizer knobs. And the little holes under the graphic equalizer. And I do want to do those two little screw holes for the CD. I guess I should have left the screw out and done them. If I can get the rest of the dust out of them, that is kind of annoying. This little bit where the antenna goes is always collects a bit. I guess you should really extend the whole antenna and check that's all clean. Something stuck on the door there a bit. See if it evaporates off. And what have we got here? Something on there. Yeah, that got it off the door. This lens on there looks a bit iffy. Yeah, that's definitely got something on it. Oh, probably shouldn't have used Metha. I should have been using the other cleaner. But that's almost like new, this one. It's again very fine scratches on the plastic, which maybe would polish off if you had a go at it. So I'll clean the other speaker up and we'll give it a test. One thing I remember that I had is a smaller version of one of these extended screwdrivers. I originally had two of these crescent ones and one got worn out, so I got this other one I don't know where from. But of course, these got a slightly smaller head on them, which helps getting those speaker screws, but also you can see down the hole a little bit better. You could almost fit a little LED or something down the side of this is what it needs, but definitely a little bit easier. Still strangely difficult to get them in there, but with the bigger headed screwdriver, it basically just sort of fits perfectly in the head, like no no room around it, so maybe a smaller one is the way to go. So I've got this thing all cleaned up, and it is looking close to new, this one. Even the tops of the speakers, which looked a bit dirty, come up alright. A few scratches on the CD door are a little bit annoying. That sort of take away from it a little bit, but I've got a bit of dust from me cleaning up, but it's come up very well considering. I guess I better just check it still runs. Oh, better get the equalizer flat again. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'll just leave that in there because I've got to check the record again, I guess.
So it's quite fascinating to see that the cost of age pension by the middle of this century.
Fascinating.
Well, I saw.
Yep, radio dial seems to be in the right place. Always something to check. Yeah, sounding good on 2 channels. What are you doing? Come on. Tape's dropping out a bit, but I think it's just a bad tape. Well, it didn't sound too bad before, did it? But anyway, we'll put that down to the tape itself. Get the CD back out, and that's it. Giving that thing a bit of a clean up. What's that weird round mark there? I think that's actually moulded into the plastic. That's a bit odd. Yeah, it's almost like there's meant to be a hole for something else there. So at least it's not a bit of damage. And yeah, a few fine scratches and bits and pieces. Shame the old ones aren't in that sort of condition, but it actually is cleaned up quite nice for what it is, which is nothing overly great, but they do sound actually quite decent, these boxes, especially off CD. But anyway, that's another one sorted out, so thanks for watching.